Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to say thank you for watching my presentation. It's great to see you all. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nurinayah Nurdin and I'm from ICP of Biology Education, Faculty of Mathematics and Science from Universitas Negeri Makassar. And the purpose of this presentation are to know what is the media, what is the benefit, and how to use this media. Please look at the picture. We will discuss about Media Development Learning Explosion Magic Box, Class 10, Senior High School on Virus Material. We can see the abstract. The study aims to describe the learning media, determine the benefit of learning media, and the advantage and disadvantage of Explosion Magic Box for learning material on virus for Class 10 science student. The research method used in this paper used the EDI model of Learning Device Development Model. This model is a more generic learning design which has 5 main stages, namely analysis, design, development, implement, and evaluate. We can start in the preliminary. Biology is a science that is quite difficult to understand among the student. Therefore, it needs interesting learning media as a tool assist in the process of learning biology in Class 10 Senior High School. In addition, in this modern era, the learning system is increasingly sophisticated, therefore teacher must always keep up with the times so that the learning process is in accordance with the condition that occur. The boring learning tendency often occurs in the world of education. This happens because the way of delivery from the teacher is too monotonous, so that students feel bored. Effort to make learning more concrete using learning media. Learning media is very useful for students because it can increase student comprehension of this material presented. One way to overcome this problem requires the use of new media. The use of media in the appropriate learning process is able to attract student attention and make it easier for students to understand the material. One of the learning media that can support learning in KD 3.3 in Class 10 Science about virus is the Explosion Magic Box. Media Explosion Magic Box is media in the form of a box or tube. After the box is opened, there are many pictures and materials that can increase enthusiasm in learning virus and also attract the attention of students. In addition, this media can make it easier for students to gain a good understanding and increase learning motivation. Therefore, based on the background and authors are interested in making learning media with the concept of Explosion Magic Box for virus material for Class 10 science student. Now, the result and discussion. Research result. The result of the development stage of the Explosion Magic Box learning media on virus material for Class 10 Senior High School using the EDI model can be seen as the follows. A. Analysis. In analysis process, namely concluding needs assessment, identifying problems, and performing task analysis. Therefore, the resulting output is in the form of characteristic or profiles of prospective learners, identification of gaps, identification of need, and detailed task analysis based on needs. From the result of the analysis stage, it can be concluded that the conventional learning process makes the student feel bored in the learning process, so that it affects the level of motivation and student activeness in the teaching and learning process. B. Design process. The design stage is carried out by planning the product design activities that will be used. After planning the product design, starting from the preparation stage of tools and materials to the media assembly stage explosion magic box. A procedure for using the media in the teaching and learning process is made at this stage. The learning media is produced explosion magic box by collaborating creativity and learning in one medium that can be used in the teaching and learning process of student in the class. We can see the picture. Media explosion box, outer appearance, and this picture to media explosion box inside. Now, development is the process of making the blueprint, the design come true. That is, if the design requires of software in the form of multimedia learning, the multimedia must be developed. Or a print module is needed, then the module needs to be developed, and in this media, a spinning number prototype of learning media is needed. Design of content in the contents in learning media explosion magic box on various material for class 10 senior high school semester event, consisting of media prototypes explosion magic box. The need for the use of learning media explosion magic box in class 10 senior high school virus material scene of the cognitive development stage of student is very important in the student learning process. The discussion. Now we can see the discussion. Explosion magic box is a media in the form of box or cube in which there are image and material that the researcher wants to convey in accordance with the syllabus. The use of this media can increase student achievement and motivation. With the existence of learning media, it will make the learning process more interesting. For example, in terms of appearance combined with several image and or animation. The attractiveness of physical appearance greatly affect the learning process. The more attractive the appearance of the media, the more motivated students are to learn, so that it affects student learning outcomes. Attractive and interactivity in a learning media is means so that students are not bored in following lesson, and the greatest effect is expected that students can be motivated and make it easier to accept subject matter. One example of learning media that can be concrete by utilizing technology development in education is the explosion magic box learning media. Lifting virus material using explosion magic box media, because this virus material focus more on visual learning style that have lots of image ranging from virus structure, virus development, and types of virus. Besides that, the material is quite difficult to understand if only presented with a concept that is ordinary, like PowerPoint, textbooks, and other sorts, and many Latin terms and names that are quite difficult to remember. This is what underlines the concept of explosion magic box, which has unique and interesting shape and is usually used as a gift containing photos and words, but this time it's worked in a learning medium on virus material. Each method of using learning media has its own strength and weakness. This media will explain a little about the strength and weakness of explosion magic box media. Playing is a basic principle of early childhood education, so it's natural that playing is one of the methods that teacher must use in student learning. The advantage of this media are in accordance with the stage of child development that requires physical in developing all aspects of their development, but physical development, cognitive development, and emotional development. Besides that, it can also encourage children interested in learning by playing. Children usually don't realize that they are learning something because their main focus is their interest in playing. The weakness of this media that if this method is carried out without careful preparation, then there is possibility that the learning objectives are not maximally achieved because the child is too late in the playing process, especially for example, the teacher doesn't pay attention to the stage of learning through this method. Besides, this method usually requires preparate learning stages and media. Therefore, the availability of playing media is for implementation this method. The media here isn't only in the form of goods but can take the form of various types of games that must be mastered by the teacher so that learning runs well. If the teacher doesn't provide learning media, the learning objective will be difficult to achieve. Based on this, the implementation of learning is one of the main tasks of the teacher, so that learning activities are aimed to teaching students. A learning designer is required to be able to design learning by utilizing various types of media and appropriate learning research so that the learning process takes place effectively and efficiently. As teacher designer play a role in designing a student to gain learning experience, because learning is essentially a process of changing behavior thanks to experience. Learning designers are also required to be able to create or design tools that can help the learning process, tools that are meant by media or learning props. The resulting form of learning media is a box decorated with various colors and images of the virus material measuring 21 cm, made of hardboard and manila cardboard. Explosion Magic Box is devoted to virus material in Class 10 Science, which has many pictures ranging from virus structure, virus development, and virus types. Besides, the material is quite difficult to understand if only presented with ordinary concepts such as PowerPoint, textbooks, and search, and other many Latin terms and names which are quite difficult to remember. This media gives the information of magic when the box is opened. There are various kinds of picture, material, and games in the media, so that they can attract student attention and make it easy to understand the material. It's all of my presentation. I hope you can understand what is the media explosion magic box. Thank you for your great attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.